Hello to all. Hope so you all are well. Today we are discussing about a very important phylum, and that is known as the Annelida, to which the earthworm and all belong. So you must know that each phylum is having a meaning. Alright, like porifers were having the pores, platyhelminthes were having the flat body, SK-helminthes were having the round body. Exactly like that only, annelids are actually having the ring-like structures. They have little ring-like structure. Annelida word is actually coming from annulus. Annulus means ring. They have ring-like body. Now, if I talk about the habitat, then they are aquatic. They may be marine or freshwater. It has been generally seen that they are marine, but there are few forms which may be found in freshwater. There are few forms which are terrestrial, say for the earthworm, which is found in moist or damp soil. They are free living and sometimes parasitic. There are few forms which are parasitic, but there are only few forms only. So altogether I can say that they may be aquatic, marine or freshwater, or terrestrial, free living, and sometimes they may be parasitic. Body is metamerically segmented. Now see this character. Up till what we have discussed, all the phylums, whether it was Porifera or the Ctenophora, right, or the Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, SK-helminthes, you have not seen this character. This is the first time where you can see this character, that body is metamerically segmented. Body is metamerically segmented means body is truly segmented from outside as well as inside, and the segments here are called as the metameres. The segments here are called as the metameres. So body is metamerically segmented means we can say it as they have metameric segmentation or true segmentation. Now, organ system level of body organization. They have organ system level of body organization. In annelids also and the further phylums also, they will be having the organ system level of body organization. Bilaterally symmetrical. Generally all the worms are having the bilateral symmetry, whether they are flatworms or the roundworms or the annelids, they are having bilateral symmetry. They are triploblastic, means they have three germ layers, that is ectoderm, mesoderm and the endoderm. That's why they are called as triploblastic. And this is the first time you can see that they are eucoelomates, means they have a two coelom. In platyhelminthes, there was no coelom found. That's why we called them as acoelomate. In the SK-helminthes or the nematohelminthes phylum, I said you about the pseudocoelomate condition. That is, they were having the false coelom, which was called as the pseudocoelom. But this is the first time you can see in this phylum that they are truly coelomates. They are eucoelomates, means they have a true coelom. A true coelom is a coelom which is lined by mesoderm, And in the annelids, this true coelom is called as cygocele. This true coelom is called as cygocele. So definitely they have true coelom. But if the question is asked that what type of the true coelom is found in the annelids, you will say that they have cygocele. Now, if we talk about the body wall, so body wall consists of the outermost cuticle. Just below the cuticle is the epidermis and then the muscle layer. So cuticle is moist and elastic. The characteristic feature of the cuticle is that it is moist and elastic. Epidermis, just below the cuticle is the epidermis, which is a living layer, and secretes cuticle. Means this cuticle is actually formed by the epidermis only. And if we talk about the muscle layer, they consist of two types of the muscles, circular muscles and longitudinal muscles. And the circular and longitudinal muscles in them are helpful in locomotion. Also, one thing you have to remember, that the coelom is filled with coelomic fluid. The coelom is filled with coelomic fluid, which acts as an hydrostatic skeleton. And this hydrostatic skeleton helps the earthworm in making the burrows in the in the soil. Okay, so they have hydrostatic skeleton, means the coelom is filled with coelomic fluid which maintains a pressure and which serves as a hydrostatic skeleton. Now, in aquatic annelids, say for if I talk about the Nereis, very important member of this phylum. In aquatic annelids like Nereis, they have lateral appendages called as parapodia. They have lateral appendages known as the parapodia, which helps in swimming. And this question was asked in NEET, that that is the Nereis, which is an aquatic annelid, swim with the help of lateral appendages, and that lateral appendages are called as parapodia. Again, I am repeating, aquatic annelids like Nereis have lateral appendages called as parapodia, which are helpful in swimming. But the earth form possesses chitinous. Remember this thing, this is also important. That is, the earth form possesses chitinous, and this chitinous help in locomotion. So if the question is asked that the locomotion in the case of the earth form occur with the help of, so you will say CT. If I talk about the digestive tract, that is the alimentary canal. So alimentary canal is complete. It is straight, and they have a tube within tube body plan. What is tube within tube body plan? That inside they have a straight alimentary canal, and around the alimentary canal is the body wall. So they have tube within tube body plan. If I talk about the osmoregulation and the excretion, then the osmoregulation and the excretion in them occurs with the help of nephridia. Okay, osmoregulation and excretion in them occur with the help of nephridia, and their excretive product may be ammonia or maybe urea. In aquatic forms, the excretive product is ammonia, and in the land forms, the excretive product is the urea. Fine. Now, circulatory system is present and it is closed type. They have circulatory system and it is of closed type. Respiration in them occur through the moist skin. It is a popular type of the respiration found in the earthworms, known as the cutaneous respiration. Always remember that the skin of the earthworm and all are moist, and the respiration occur through this moist skin. When the respiration occur through the moist skin, it is called as cutaneous respiration. But there are few forms which have gills, There are few aquatic forms which have gills, and when the respiration occurs through the gills, it will be called as the branchial respiration. Fine. Now let's talk about the nervous system. Nervous system consists of a nerve ring which is treated as a brain, and also they have a solid double ventral nerve cord which is having ganglia. This point is very important, that what type of the nervous system is found. Nervous system consists of a nerve ring which is treated as a brain, and they have a solid double ventral nerve cord which has ganglia on it. Okay. Now hemoglobin is dissolved in blood plasma. Now in the case of the higher organisms, you see that RBC is present. If we talk about the human beings and the mammals and all, then they have RBC, and the hemoglobin is found inside the RBC, but they don't have RBC. So hemoglobin is found, RBC is absent, but hemoglobin is found, and hemoglobin is dissolved in blood plasma. Now reproduction is sexual, very well developed reproductive system is found. Reproduction is sexual, but remember this thing, that Nereis is dioecious. Means male is different, female is different. But earthworm and leeches are monoecious. Means a single organism have both reproductive organs, that is the male reproductive organ as well as the female reproductive organ, both are found in a single individual only. That's why earthworm and leeches are monoecious while the Nereis is dioecious. Development is direct or indirect. And when the development is indirect, then they have a trochophore larva. So the larva associated with this phylum is the trochophore larva. Remember this thing, that only the class Polychaeta, normally there are three classes of the phylum Annelida. Class Polychaeta, class Oligochaeta and class Hirudinea. Okay, what I want to say that only the class Polychaeta members have the larva known as the trophophore larva. Otherwise, the class Oligochaeta and the class Hirudinea do not have larva. It means in class Oligochaeta and class Hirudinea, the development is direct. The development is direct, while here the development is indirect. Fine. Now let's talk about some examples of this Phylum-Annelida. First one is most common worm, that is the Nereis. It is also called as the sandworm. Aphrodite sea mouse. Many times question is asked from here. Aphrodite is called as the sea mouse, and Chitopteris is called as the pedal worm. And one thing I want to say you here, that Chitopteris is having a great power of regeneration. So all these three members, Nereis, Aphrodite and Chitopteris, are belonging to the class Polychaeta. Now, the second class known as the Oligochaeta. This was the class Polychaeta. Now coming to the class Oligochaeta, very very important class because earthworms are included here. Ferritima, the most common earthworm known as the North Indian earthworm. North Indian earthworm is called as the Ferritima, belongs to the class Oligochaeta. Lumbricus, which is also called as the European earthworm, that is the Lumbricus. Dravida and Megascolex, these are the two South Indian earthworms. So Ferritima are North Indian earthworm, Lumbricus are European earthworm, and Dravida and Megascolex South Indian earthworm are actually belonging to the class Oligochaeta. Are you getting? Now coming to the third class, that is the class Hirudinea. Now Hirudinea class are having the members Hirudinaria. Hirudinea class belongs to the class Hirudinea belongs to Hirudinaria, and Hirudinaria is also called as blood-sucking leech. It is called as blood-sucking leech, and the characteristic feature of this Hirudinaria is that, let me tell you, that because they are blood suckers, okay, so they have an anticoagulant. In their saliva. And that anticoagulant is called as the hirudine. So what is the characteristic feature of them? Because they are the blood suckers, when the blood comes out, it will be clotted. So to avoid that, anticoagulant hirudine is actually found in the saliva of the Hirudinaria or the leech, which will do not allow the blood to clot. And also what I want to say, that Hirudinaria and this leeches, Hirudinaria or the leeches have 33 segments in their body. They have fixed number of the segments. And that are 33. In earthworm also segments are there, but the segments are not fixed. They are 100 to 120. But here in the Hirudinaria, 33 segments are found. One more example is there belonging to the class Hirudinea is the Pontapdella. It is called as the skate sucker. Pontapdella is called as the skate sucker. Alright. So this was the Phylum-Annelida. We have discussed all the general features of the phylum, as well as we have discussed some important examples of this phylum. Okay. Previously also I have already uploaded the phylum Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, alright, Eschyhelminthes, and today we have given the description of the Annelida. So just watch the other videos also and share them. Thanks a lot.